Hey guys, welcome back. Haven't done a little video in a while, purely for the fact that I'm working on a big model at the moment that's actually going to a local competition. So I've been spending basically all my time on that. Some of you might have seen on my Instagram or Facebook. It's the Forge World Imperial Knight Acheron, Astartes Knight Acheron, or Carastus, however you say it. Doing it up in the House Terran colours. It's going really well at the moment. It's actually the first Forge World Knight that I've painted up. So check it out on Facebook or Instagram, under Escalation Painting on Instagram, Escalation Painting, or obviously my normal name on Facebook. So have a little look at that, check out what you think. Now for today I thought we would do a little look at effectively the new Space Marine Codex and what's changed compared to the last Space Marine Codex. You'll see in front of you I've got both of them here. I've obviously now it's sort of a few days after this new one has come out. I purely sort of wanted to wait that few days so everyone could have a little read through, have a little look at it themselves and actually know what we're talking about. Now, some people might be familiar with the last decks, some people might be new to the game, and this might be the first one that they're starting with. To be honest with you, not much has changed in regards to the basics. How things play, most of the stats, it's all the same. There are some massive game changers in the Codex though, that really bring Space Marines in line and give them sort of options to actually deal with some of the stuff that's going on at the moment, i.e. the new Eldar Codex. We'll go through a few of the bits in there. I won't go through in too much detail. I'll probably do a few different videos on these rather than just one video, just featuring on different parts. We'll see how we get through in each video as to what the next one will be about. Now, we'll start off with obviously just how the new codexes look compared to the last one. You'll see both obviously sticking with the poster boys, both got ultramarine covers. Now they did do a range of limited edition ones. I think they went for about £100 a piece, came with the objective markers, data cards, nice sort of sleeves for them to go into, and they came in chapter specific books. I think there was Iron Hands, Imperial Fists, Ultramarines, the standards. I understand why they aim at the standard chapters. It would be nice if they start branching out into sort of second founding chapters, or maybe even sort of more obscure chapters, but obscure chapters that have a lot of story behind them, a lot of fluff behind them. But you know, it might be some time until we're waiting for that. It's more of a Forge World kind of thing. So yeah, both Ultramarines on the covers. Both still got this nice matte effect with the gloss character on the front. Still nice and embossed. Now the one massive change that you'll see on here is we've gone from just Space Marines to Codex Adeptus Astartes Space Marines. Now that to me says that you're going to start seeing all the other Space Marine chapters and factions go into Codex Adeptus Astartes. It's bringing it in line with the Astra Militarum, and all the other things that are bringing them into, so you've got Eldar, Craft Worlds, they're all being brought in line again. We'll see how long that sort of stands for till they go back to the originals. It seems a little bit weird that they're changing things. I mean, I didn't really see the point of changing Astra Militarum. Imperial Guard kind of did the job. I think it's to give an overall umbrella name to a smaller faction. So now with, say for example, Astra Militarum again, you've got your normal Astra Militarum, then you've got the Scions and things like that. So yeah, I can kind of understand it, don't necessarily agree with it. Now you'll also see with these that the new Codex is quite a lot larger than the last one. Now the last one was still huge, was still, I'd pretty much say the biggest Codex so far. The new one is I think 23 pages longer. So it actually feels in your hand a hell of a lot chunkier. Now, if I show you the side, I mean, there you look at sort of the width of that nice good book. Now, for 35 quid in the UK, or what is probably nearer to $50 if you're in the States, it feels like you're getting your money's worth. Unlike some of the other smaller codexes that are sort of £30 or something like that, this feels like you're getting your money's worth. It's much bigger. It's much more filled and detailed. Now, let's put the old one aside for a moment. Let's open this up. We've got obviously inside, front cover there, we've got some of the artwork that we've already seen. Now you guys will see that, you would have seen that in colour, the Imperial Fists there against the Chaos Marines. Now we carry on through. Here we've got some nice artwork. There's a lot of new nice artwork in this. Now you'll see quite a lot. The Angels of Death is sort of the nickname now that's used quite a lot. It's nice, however, that we've got that paper sort of cover before we get to the gloss paper. It does feel like they've really put sort of a lot of quality into this. Now, index page, codex page, contents page. It's huge. Now, if I just open the contents of the last book, let's put those side by side. The difference in what is actually in this book. Now this is chocked, absolutely chocked, whereas this has kind of all been split up. It's got titles onto each section. It's got the stuff down the side here and at the bottom. This book has just got so much in it. So put that back aside. You'll see the way this book works is split into fluff. Then it's got bits of artwork, pictures of like the heavy metal team's work and some of the standard studio work. Then after all the fluff and the studio stuff, we've got the rules. Now the rules are obviously all of this, and it does split it into every single unit, so you can find this quite easily. And then you've got the appendix. Appendix obviously covers any army-wide special rules, chapter tactics, weapons, your specific Space Marine tactical objectives. So we've got, like I say, I just can't fault how much they've put into this book. Now, one interesting, quite funny thing. I was actually in Games Workshop in Winchester a few days ago. I was up there for a training course. It was quite funny. I was talking to the manager in there. His name's Adam, really great guy down there if you ever get the chance to pop in. It's quite funny that down here in the little sort of blurb where it normally tells you like what edition it is and that sort of thing, it actually says in there that Games Workshop does not recommend the use of the models by children under the age of 16 without adult supervision. 16. So I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I think they're starting to realise that this isn't sort of suitable for children. This isn't the thing that a child could just pick up straight away and understand. There is a lot to this. It's a big game. It's a big sort of hobby. And I mean the models as well. They're not tough. You know, you play with it, it's going to break. Adam in Winchester was actually telling me how a child went into the store a few days ago, picked up his Imperial Knight that he was working on, doing some lovely freehand on, and snapped it in half. Just snapped the whole thing in half. I think that proves the point there. So on with the Codex. You'll see that we start going through a lot of fluff to start with. It kind of introduces what Space Marines are, who created them, what they're for. Some really nice new artwork. Now, some people might have seen some of this, or some of it leaked before the Codex was released. It's amazing. Excuse me. It's amazing stuff. The only thing that sort of I'm not too keen on is that it's going it looks like a cross between a cartoon and like CGI. It's very characterized, like caricatures sort of thing. So the Marines have kind of been stretched out quite a lot, and there's very sort of almost CAD designed sort of plates on the armor work and things like that. Nonetheless though, it looks absolutely beautiful. Now it's kind of like they're trying to pull it more towards the artwork that you see out of Forge World with the big epic backgrounds. There's ships going across in the back, so it kind of feels to me like they're trying to pull it across. That you've got things like the Thunderhawks in the background there, so it's nice to see some of the bigger stuff being taken into account into a normal codex. Then talks about things like the Primarchs. You'll see here you've got Lysander. Again, we've seen this artwork, same artwork that's at the front of the book there. This is another new bit of artwork explaining how a Space Marine's created, what goes into making a Space Marine. And you see this guy here being all plated up by all the serfs, and you've got sort of the chaplain here, priests doing the rites, all that sort of thing. Lovely, again, lovely artwork. Now the Codex Astartes page here, again, seen this artwork before, starts telling us about what is the makeup of the Codex Astartes, who created it, obviously Guilliman. Then it goes through the founding 20 chapters and where they are now, so if they're traitors, if they're still loyal, if they've got second founding chapters attached to them, what's their homeworld. So quite a lot of nice information. Again, nothing new. Then we start going into the chapter organisation. Now it's more in depth than it was before. I mean, if I recall correctly, the last one had the makeup of one of the Ultramarines chapters, but that was it. It wasn't an overall that you could put into place if you wanted to create a chapter for everyone. So we've got chapter organisation there, which is really nice. Again, some nice new artwork showing the Centurion, so it's nice to see some of the new models getting put into the new artwork. When I say new models, obviously last codex, but still relatively new compared to a lot of the stuff. Get there a view of what I would say looks like sort of our galaxy, and how far spread the Space Marine chapters are. Then we've got more new artwork, which is really, really nice piece. Kind of ticks a box for me because you see the Dark Eldar in there, the Incubi. I've just started a Dark Eldar army, so it's really nice to see them in new artwork rather than still being forgotten. Maybe makes me think, are they getting some love soon? Are they getting a new codex? Starts talking about obviously where the Ultramarines are from, and it goes through the different chapters. So White Scars, Imperial Fists, Black Templars and Crimson Fists. Now a lot of people thought these wouldn't be in this codex. They are still in this codex. However, they are glazed over very, very quickly. Makes me think maybe they are going to get their own supplements, but we'll see in time about that. Salamanders, Raven Guard. A lot of people unhappy about the Raven Guard. We'll go through that. Iron Hands. And then this talks about sort of what different companies in a chapter actually do. So first company, you'll see their sort of tactical company. Normally they would be the ones that have Terminators and things like that in the first company, but for some reason in this battle company it's not talking about that. It's talking about a standard sort of tactical company with the sort of Devastator and Assault added in. Reserve companies, so it's talking about sort of heavy reserves, assault reserves, that sort of stuff. 10th company, which it's quite interesting that they've put this in because there is actually a formation for the 10th company, Scout company. Armory, Lords of the Chapter is always your apothecaries, chapter masters, champions, chaplains. The army, the librarians, sorry, army, not army, I meant armory. Then we go on to Space Marine Strike Forces, and you've got the Gladius Strike Force that, again, massive, massive formation that we'll talk about in the next or a couple of videos time. Quite nice to see the campaign badges in there. You can add these into your companies, maybe give them a little bit of fluff behind them, like they took part in such and such a deal. Quite nice to actually have that involved. Right, so then we got the Chronicles of Heroes. Chronicles of Heroes is basically the timeline around everything that the Space Marines have taken part in that's sort of affected the Imperium, every major battle that they've undertaken, and how the progression has gone on, how things have changed and the perception of the Space Marines. Quite nice little read, quite sort of explains quite a lot, makes you sort of feel what they've actually been through. Then guys, we go on to the units and the characters. Now, we're not going to do this in this video because we're on time for this video. Now, the next video, there's a lot that we're going to go through in that one. Probably just going to carry on go through the units, the sort of the fluff side of the units before we get to the data slates. Like I say, don't want to go too much in detail in these videos, apart from things that have actually really majorly changed in the Codex. So things like the formations, we'll hit those quite hard. Just keep tuned, guys. Keep watching. Check out just the videos that you want to check out. You don't necessarily have to watch these all in order, because we'll do them sections. We'll title them according. Let me know what you think, guys. Keep posted. Watch the next one. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.